The trip went fine. You know, a few little glitches. Trip went fine, but on the way back, they stopped in Paris.
Okay.
And could not fly out.
Wow.
Because of a storm in New York.
Ooh, slow down.
They could not
a whole
fly
different
out.
geographical place.
Whole different.
With a storm.
And people who had some of the people he said had never been abroad before.
So.
And here they are in Paris, ready to go home, but couldn't go.
Because of a storm in New York.
Because of a storm somewhere in another country.
Right, technically.
Storms will come. That's your detour. That's that stuff. So what happened? He said he looked at his wife and said, "What we gonna do with this situation?" Set people down and said, "We're gonna tour the city. We in Paris.
Might as
Come
well.
on, we'll tour the city."
Well.
And so that's what they did. So it's not the fact that you're gonna have detours. You know you're gonna have them, but what do you do with the detours?
Let me pause you right there. Remember, people are listening; they ain't looking. That's radio.
Right.
So what did I do, Jazz? On my side, I'm doing an acrostic with the word detours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time I heard you or Shirley mention a word that begins with that letter, I wrote it down. Mm-hmm. See, that's the activity as a teacher.
Yeah.
So detours come with distractions.
Oh.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
When you on detours, know this it's gonna require time.
Yes.
That's right.
But if you use wisdom in your detour, you might be able to tour.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. The alternative activity.
It's tour. Yeah. Since we're stationed and stuck, let's make the most out of it. Yeah. So see, I'm doing an activity while y'all talking to show people, and then with detours come with storms.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm just listening for words that begin with these letters, and I'm just writing them down. So now I have a whole lesson on detours.
Wow.
How every storm in my life causes a detour. How every storm in my life was a distraction.
Right.
How every storm in my life caused me time. And sometimes how every storm in my life made me tour my own mind, what was messed up.
Yeah. But here,
go ahead, talk.
Here's the new stuff, though.
The new.
What happens is while you're detouring, a lot of times it'll cause fear. And fear. First of all, what are we gonna do? We're in a city that we're not familiar with. We start talking about the fears that we have, and then if you're not careful, fear will cause you to get stuck. Well, let's just sit here. Let's don't go tour the city. Let's just stay where we are. We go out there. Somebody might mug or somebody. But fear, if you're not careful, will leave you stuck. And if you stay stuck, you might thinking that you failed. But we need some fear, but it doesn't necessarily lead to failure. And then we need some failures, because failures, depending on how we look at it, don't forget, can be a detour. Yeah, a failure can be a detour. But guess what? You don't have to stop. Once you get down, you got to know that you can get back up.
Yeah.
Or you can get back up. You can get back up. Yeah. And it's important to know that you can get back up. Fear is, listen to this, y'all. Fear is interest paid on a debt that you may not owe.
Now you need to stop.
Fear is interest paid on a debt that you may not owe.
Say that again.
Fear is interest paid on a debt that you may not know.
Because
or no.
That you owe. That you may not even owe.
Fear is interest
paid on a debt you might not even know.
Paid on a debt that you may not.
Okay.
You didn't even
okay. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
But you sitting there.
Right. Run that back. James said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Fear is interest
paid
on a debt
that you may not even owe.
I got a shout.
Because you know what fear. Think about the fears in your life. The things that have been your fears down to the. When you fear something, if you freeze.
Yeah.
Right.
You stop.
Freeze.
You stop.
You don't want to move. You don't want to do anything, and you're wasting time. You wasting energy, and usually that fear. He wrote the statistics down on what happened. Statistically, there ain't even no facts on some of the stuff that we're afraid of.
There's no statistics behind it.
No. Yeah, the fear is usually unwarranted. 60%. Listen to this. 60% of our fears are totally unwarranted, and they never come to pass.
Wow.
You be scared of something that's not even gonna happen. It's basically what you just said.
But fear is interest paid.
That
On something that you may not even owe.
It's interest
20% of our fears are focused on our past, which is completely out of our control.
That part.
10% of our fears are based on things so petty that they make no difference anyway. Think about the people that's afraid of a cat.
Make no difference. It
Afraid of a cat.
It makes no difference.
They can't even run. They can't tell you why. Of the remaining 10%, only 4 to 5% could be considered justifiable. These statistics show that any time or energy you give to fear is totally wasted and counterproductive 95% of the time.
The energy you give to fear is totally wasted.
Totally wasted. And counterproductive.
95% of the time.
Fear breeds inaction. Inaction leads to a lack of experience. A lack of experience fosters ignorance, and ignorance breeds fear.
Yeah, fear holds you back from experience.
Yeah.
Fear holds you back from moving. Fear holds you back from evolving.
Yeah.
Fear holds you back from elevating. Because you're afraid to move when you're scared.
Elevating, involvement.
All that.
Did you hear all of that
Yeah,
you said?
yeah.
Like I'm trying to do something
Fear
and
would
do
keep
this.
you stuck. Fear would have you
keep us-
going backwards.
Yeah.
It have you paying interest.
On something on
He
a debt that you
he gonna hold on to that.
What you? How can I not?
How you paying interest on a debt that you don't
You don't even owe?
We ain't talking about the debt. You ain't even paying that.
Or
No,
the
you ain't-
principal.
no.
You
It's
just paying
different
interest.
between the principal and the interest.
Yeah, but you paying on the that you don't
To
even,
pay interest?
on
what
a debt you don't even owe. What a waste of time. Most of the fears we face every day are not based on facts. They're generated by what? Feelings.
There it is. Last night.
Ah.
Wish you would have brought that out last night.
As soon as you let your feelings feel you.
F-I?
Did you hear?
Soon
She
as you
said, let your feelings
F-E-E-L.
feel
Then
F-I-L-L.
feel you.
when you let your feelings feel you,
You walk in fear.
you'll pay an interest.
You'll pay interest on the debt that you don't even owe.
And then you chance, I got it now. Did you hear that?
When you let your fear feel you.
Yeah, it will feel you.
Yeah, because it'll drive you.
Yeah.
It's in control.
Yeah.
That's what we're
You'll
saying
move off how
last
you
night.
feel.
Yeah, please.
So as teachers, teachers of the word, I don't know when it's going to go up. And thank y'all for listening to us today. S word, you said stuck, stagnant, and storms. All right, we go tell it.
Stuck.
Stagnant and storms will always
Yeah.
create detours.
Yes.
So this is the acrostic.
Yes.
Right.
So it's going to make me take tours,
Yep.
and it takes my time. It leads me to so many distractions when I'm stuck in, and then it causes me from being elevated.
Yeah.
I'm just doing an acrostic over here. I'm just listening. I'm just showing people how to take notes.
Yeah.
So this now, this is a sermon for me. I just take it to the pulpit, put it up there.
And look, listen to this. Listen to this. Accept fear as the price of progress.
Slow down. I got to chew on that. I got to chew on
And see,
that.
that's what Jazz was saying. It keeps you from moving forward.
I got to chew on that.
Yeah.
Accept fear as the price of progress.
I got to chew on that. Accept fear.
As the
As the price
of
of
progress.
progress.
Fear can be the price of progress. The price of progress. Unpack that. I love it.
There's some things.
I like that. I just need to unpack
There's
that.
some things that you're gonna fail in. You just need to know that
That period.
it's a part of life.
Okay.
But
Failure.
But some things, just keep in mind, there's some things you can control. There's some things you can't control.
And you can't control that.
Yeah, why are you going to dwell on the things that you can control? Do what you can do. Don't concentrate on what you can't do.
My.
I'm reminded of when
Talk.
I'm reminded of when Nikki was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And because I thought that I was so this and that, I can remember going to God and saying, yeah, I ain't handling this well at all.
Yeah.
I ain't handling this. And, I'm going to need a little extra dose of whatever you got. I trust you, and I know you'll give it to me. And I remember pulling up one day, and I looked at her, and I said, God, give me the cancer. Give me the cancer. Let me die, and let her live. You know what he told me? I don't need you to get out of my business.
Wow.
And I said,
He told you, just as he told
Well,
you.
he had to talk to me like that.
Right. You heard in your
Because
voice.
he really called me nigga. He wanted you to get out of my business.
In your voice.
And let me be God.
Yeah.
And I said, what? He said, sit here and think about what you're saying. You don't know I got a bigger picture than what you can see.
That part.
You're not me. You're not even you. You half the time you don't know who you are.
You're not
Come
you.
on. You not me, and half the time you don't know who you are.
He had to work on me like that, y'all. I'm like, what am I doing? He said, you ain't doing nothing wrong, but I need you to let me be God.
Yeah.
Let me run this.
Yeah.
I got a plan. So
Yeah.
And to tell the story, though. So a lot of people won't tell that story. But some people need to hear that story.
Yeah.
When God makes you hush.
Yeah.
I told him.
Yeah.
When God makes you hush.
When
Or
God
God puts you on mute.
Yeah.
For the greater good. He'll put you on mute. And tell you, like you said, you literally heard it in your voice.
Yes.
You heard him. God talks to you,
Yeah.
and he sounds like you.
Yes.
That's how you know it's God.
Yes.
He always talked to me like he had to.
Because that's how he had to deal with you.
That's right. Because
Peter.
Yeah.
Simon.
Come on.
Simon, I have to talk to you like
I have
this.
to talk to you like that because you ain't there. You ain't there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
Say that again.
Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
The cannots of life.
You just do what you can do.
Leads us on detours.
Yeah.
The cannots.
Yeah. The cannots of life.
The cannots of life lead me on detours.
And admit that you got some cannots.
Yeah, you gotta admit that you got some cannots.
You got some cannots.
Yeah. We think because we walk this walk that we in control of everything. Like we just got it all in the bag. It don't work like that.
Admit your cannots.
Admit
Okay,
your
Jazz.
cannots.
You taught a lesson today. What was your lesson?
I taught a lesson today.
Did you?
No, I was in class today, so I learned today. Yeah, they on fall break. Rutherford County's on fall break.
Rutherford County's on fall break. Shout out to Rutherford County. So, Jazz, next week you can tell your
Yes.
teaching team this time next week they can come and listen to you live, or they can go to the podcast and just listen to you on the Yolanda Cornelius show.
That
and
part.
I'll give everybody the handles, which is on Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora app, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Deezer, Castbox, and the one in India, Your Way Saving. I'm sorry for those individuals in India. Please email me and tell me how to pronounce it, because I'm English.
Yes.
I don't know Indian, you know.
He go another slam dunk.
She said a slam
Slam
dunk.
dunk.
Shirley's always a day age. I can't wait.
What happens in you is more important
Than what
than
happens
to
to
you.
you. See, that was happening to you. Her cancer was happening to you.
Yeah.
But what was happening
In you.
You never heard. Listen, had she not had what she had, you never would have heard God the way you heard it.
Wow.
Look at she got to get.
Wow. Wow.
That's enough word
Yeah.
to live the rest of your life on.
Yeah.
If she don't ever hear God again, she can say, "I know
Because
it.
of that,
Because
I
of-
heard him.
Because of that, I have this. Because of that, I have this. And my hope is built. Come on, Baptist. I never would have heard him so clear. So sometimes storms come in our life to clarify the voice of God in us.
Sometimes we know
Sometimes storms comes to clarify the this in you.
in you.
Because I'm so afraid I will pay interest.
On that.
Don't even.
Nor can you can't control it.
You can't.
But
you
you're
can't stop the
steady
storm.
paying interest.
You're paying interest on it.
Yeah. The word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be unto God. But think about it. I never would have heard God at the level I heard him had it not been for the detour,
That part.
for the storm,
That part.
for the struggle,
Yeah.
for the sickness.
Yeah.
The stone. See, there was a stone blocking the way.
Yeah.
They caused a detour.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. But it wasn't even where they were.
No.
So, Jasmine, thank God for the storms you didn't experience that kept you still long enough to take a tour in a place you was trying to leave. Thank God. Because you had, listen, storms will make you change your agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make
They
you change your
will.
direction.
Come on. Come on.
Distraction, now direction. See, y'all making,
Yeah.
y'all putting this lesson together. See,
Yeah.
they couldn't get to where they were trying to go to
Yeah.
because the storm was in New York.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Paris.
No, it wasn't in Paris.
But the agenda changed because the storm was somewhere else.
Yes.
Can you just shout? I wish you was at church. Somebody pull over right now because you don't need to
Yeah, really.
Pull over
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Get to the median and just shout to God that the storm you didn't experience changed your agenda.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't even.
That I have this.
Yes.
That'll make you look at storms differently.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You need to look
Yeah,
at them
you need-
That'll
differently.
make you look at storms
Yeah.
differently.
You have to look
Yeah,
at
you
them
have to look
differently
at them.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I welcome the next storm in my life. Watch this, that I don't even get to experience.
That I won't even get to experience.
Because I need the experience.
I need
It'll
to
change
tool.
my agenda.
I need to taste you on every level.
Come on.
What?
On every level.
At every level of my life, I have to be in a space to hear the voice of God
Yeah.
In your own voice. Yeah.
and thank Him for the detours.
Yeah. Thank you for the detour. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Because without the detour, ain't no telling where I was headed.
No.
You was headed to a storm.
Yeah.
And who's to say you would have made it through?
Yeah.
Who was to say they would have survived that storm had
Had
they
it not been
gone?
for a detour. Yeah, that part.
And now you can look over your life and say, Lord,
Thank you for
I just thank you
Thank you for the detour.
for the detour.
Sometimes you gotta go the
while I'm
long way.
grumbling in it and complaining. I just thank you for it.
The detour. The children of Israel, and we closing. 30 minutes or nothing, y'all. I keep trying to tell y'all. People think like Jazz gets it. That Shirley guy like we been you been sitting down for 30 minutes.
Just 30.
Because I got some questions.
Yeah.
You got some questions?
What lessons have I learned?
Wow.
Am I grateful for the experience? How can I turn the failure into success? Where do I go from here? Who else has failed in this way before, and how can that person help me? How can my experience help others someday to keep from failing? Did I fail because of another person, because of my situation,
Or because of myself?
myself? You see that from my way. Did I actually fail, or did I fall short of an unrealistic high standard? Where did I succeed as well as fail?
Well, folks, we are out of time, but we are not out of talk. It's been the Yolanda and Cornelia show with your host, Minister Jazz and Minister Shirley. Peace and
Until
blessings.
next time. Sure.
Just slide over, Jazz. Just slide over. Shirley, just slide over.
Stay up,
Hip
Shirley,
hop,
stay
hip
up.
hop, hip hop.
I hate it. You good.
Now y'all finna be on YouTube.